So let's do this first example on page 2. We're going to do the same work we did on the foldable. Do this in blue. Okay, so here's my graph. I got x minus 2y is less than 4. First question is it in standard form? Is it in that ax plus by form? Oh, sorry, I'm making this too dark. I apologize. Yes, no? Yeah, so step 1 is good. Step 2, so we're going to take this and we're going to do 2 scenarios where we set the first one x equals 0, the second one y equals 0. And we're going to turn this inequality into an equation while we solve. Okay? So this first scenario, we're trying to find our y-intercept. So plug in 0 for x, so 0 minus 2y equals 4. Obviously the 0 cancels out. And you get y equals negative 2. From those 2 points, I can create an ordered pair. 0 is my x, negative 2 is my y. And the question that students always ask, do we have to show this much work? Yeah, this isn't a lot of work. So I do want to see you plugging in 0 for x. Okay? If you cut out steps, I'm going to take off points. So this is not a lot of work to show. It's justifying how you're getting your answer. So this is how we get our y-intercept. Let's do the same thing. Get our x-intercept by plugging in 0 for y. We get x minus 2 times 0 equals 4. The cool thing about this is it cancels that negative 2 and 0 out, and I'm left with x equals 4. Okay, so I create an ordered pair, 4, 0. Now I've got 2 points that I can go to my graph and plot. Okay, so plot those points. The first one, 0, negative 2. That's my y-axis. 4, 0. That's my x-axis. Okay, and before we go to step 3 and just draw a line, you need to ask yourself, is this going to be dashed or solid? This is going to be dashed. Very good. So take your straight edge, paper, ruler, whatever you want. Draw a dashed line. And I need to clearly see if your line is dashed or solid, so I'll make it obvious. Don't write so small that I have to guess, because then I'm going to guess that it's solid. Okay, so that's the up to level, or step 3. Now the last step, step 4, this is the one where it'll help us decide what part do we shade. Now, does this line go through the origin? No. So your easiest test point will be 0, 0. I promise. But if your graph, and we'll do an example where the graph does go through the origin, if your graph goes to the origin, you do need to pick another test point to test. So by doing that, we're going to plug this into our inequality. 0 minus 2 times 0 is greater than 4. Beauty about that is my left side is 0, then I have greater than 4. Now, ask yourself, is this a true statement? Is 0 greater than 4? No. And because of notes purposes, and I want you to have something to refer back to, please make note that this is not a true statement. Okay? You don't have to write that on your homework, but for your notes, go ahead and write it down so that when you refer back to this, you'll know why we shaded away from it. So if this is 0, 0, and this is not a true statement, back over to that foldable on your little box, if the test point does not satisfy the inequality, you will shade the other area. So if this is where our test point is, what area are we going to shade? Above the line or below the line? We're going to shade below the line. Very good, because we do not want that point, that test point, included. Now, for your homework, guys, you're going to either need a highlighter or a matte pencil, so make sure you have one before you go home. Because I want to see you shade. I don't want you shading in pencil. Okay? You're going to have a highlighter or matte pencil on a test. That's good, yeah. Or a pen color, that's fine. But For the math portion, make sure you do your homework in pencil. Okay?